don't do that.
Did you hear my yeet?
I did hear you.
Okay.
No, don't do that.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Mind Composition Podcast. I am your host, Brian Blair, and I'm here with my good friend, Grace.
What's
Grace,
up?
how's it going? How's your day?
Really good. Really
Awesome.
good.
What was the highlight of your day so far?
This.
Okay, awesome. Cool. I mean, it is only 2 p.m.
Yeah,
so.
you are just my highlight of my day.
Okay.
honestly.
I mean, thank you. I
Socializing.
I appreciate
My
that,
is my
honestly.
highlight of my day. Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't love socializing? You gotta have fun here and there. So.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Alrighty, so the topic for today is going to be on discipline. Now, you actually came up with this last night, last minute. So, what does discipline really mean to you?
Okay. I want to say something first. Discipline is completely different than motivation in the term with business.
Okay.
Because I feel a lot of people, when they want to get into business or they want to do something like all themselves, they rely on their motivation to do it. They want to be able to feel motivated to keep doing it. That's bullshit.
I mean,
It's bullshit.
probably couldn't have said it any better.
Yeah, I mean, like, there will be days that I don't want to work at all. I don't want to do shit.
Why not?
I don't know. I feel tired. I'll feel more tired than usual. Maybe I'll want to go to the beach instead of sit on my computer for 6 hours. But because I'm disciplined to do so, and because my why is part of discipline, I'll do it. Discipline is the only thing that keeps you going when it comes to work. That's my first.
It's like a set of rules that you place within yourself to keep you going, and you can't really break outside of those, like, I guess, set of rules, really.
Exactly.
It's like guidelines. It's like guidelines. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know, but then that also raises the question, like, why would you have, like, guidelines, like, for yourself to, like, control yourself more, or, like,
to keep yourself in check.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, to make sure you're doing what you need to do. There are certain things that you need to do when running a business or starting a new project.
That's true.
That have to get done, otherwise that project will fall apart.
Yeah,
like, if you didn't edit your photos,
they fall apart.
They fall apart.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to post them.
Yeah, I mean, so
your clients might want to
there's
post
sometimes where, like, I'll be editing photos and I'll be like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to edit photos. I want to find the lazy way out. I want to find the easy way. I just want to copy and paste the same edit over and over again. And I'll just wind up procrastinating because I'm like, there's that lack of discipline. I'll be like, okay, I'm going to go home. I'm going to edit, right? And then I get home and I'm like, yeah, I'm tired. I'm going to do it in, like, 30 minutes, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then 30 minutes go by, I'm like, you know what, I think I can do it. A little bit later, I'll stay up late tonight and do it, right? Okay,
or I'll set a timer for 15 more minutes.
Yeah, right? Yeah, we all know how that one goes.
Yeah,
and then it'll be like 10, 11, midnight, and then you're just like, yeah, I'm tired. I'll just do it tomorrow morning. I'll wake up early in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happens when the early morning comes around? That
you don't
alarm clock goes off. Yeah, so, that endless vicious cycle repeats, and I've been guilty of doing that for, I kid you not, maybe the months on end. And that's part of the reason why some photos, people don't see some photos for almost, weeks and months. Yeah. Because, like, there's just that cycle that happens. You fall into it, and it just becomes a habit. You're like, okay, I'm going to do it later. It's fine. I got time. Instead of just, like, actually being like, no, okay, I can do this stuff later after I get the important stuff done first, all right? Yeah. Now, to an extent, you don't want to go overboard with that, which I'm known for, but yeah. There's times where I go crazy with that. I mean, you've seen it multiple times.
I've seen it, and I do too. But I do say that, like, I do think that motivation has something to do with it. I think your motivation is your why. Because when I am not disciplined to do something, and when I want to set that 15-minute timer for more TikTok or whatever I'm doing to distract myself and procrastinate, I think about why I do what I do in the first place.
That is true.
And then that kind of motivates me to be like, okay, I have to work on my discipline. I have to be able to do what I do, because my why won't be complete that way. Sitting on TikTok will not complete my why. And my goal is to complete my why in some sort of way every single day.
Okay, so that actually makes me think of something. So you said motivation, right?
Yes.
So what if you use TikTok or these social media platforms as motivation to get you going to do your why? For a perfect example, okay? First, we're two different types of artists. That'll be another episode for us later. But to just touch on that, for someone like you know, me on the visual aspect as far as like creating photo, video, getting those ideas to roll through your head. And actually for you too, since you're doing a lot of graphics, we get some of our inspiration from social media,
Yeah.
right? So using those as a you know, tool, really a
Hmm.
tool, not a
Yeah.
recreational device, but a tool to really just pull in ideas and start sparking our imagination to create something, right?
Hmm.
And then using that as motivation to fuel our discipline for our project. Would you agree or not?
Yes, but there is a difference. There is a distinct difference from when I go on TikTok to find inspiration and when I go on TikTok to find
To
funny
kill your time,
videos. Yeah,
to you know,
to
just
find,
waste time.
something I'm looking like yeah, to waste my time, on whatever is on my For You page.
The For You page,
Yeah.
the word just
Yeah, For You.
sticks in my head
It
more.
really is.
For You. What does For You mean to you? Oh, I don't know, man. Just like nightmares and traumas come up when I think of that. TikTok is one of the most like I don't even have the words to explain
Yeah.
how volatile that growth is on that app. Like it's great for, you know, short little blips of like inspiration and stuff like
Mhm.
that, but like it should never be looked at as a stable platform
Oh, it's
to
not.
constantly. I mean, like yeah, you can grow really quick on it, but you will never be able to like, you know,
Yeah.
it's
I
just
fully believe if you make yourself on TikTok, it will reach a peak. It's the
yeah,
way I think
absolutely.
about LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster. You go up, you go up, you go up, and then you reach your peak, and then it's just down. You're just not going to do it again.
Yeah. 100
Which with other
100%.
social medias, you can come up and come down again and again. Like YouTubers. YouTubers go up and down all this fucking time, but you know, TikTokers, if you go down, you go down. If you make it
Yeah.
on TikTok, nobody, because TikTok
The
is
thing is like the
ruthless.
thing is like TikTok is like it's not real. Like it's
No, it's not.
not real. I mean, it's not like a it's just it's not stable enough to actually be a platform. Like if someone is quote like TikTok famous, it's so much easier first of all to get a lot of following on TikTok
Yeah,
because one, you have to take into account two things. The amount of times you're posting and two, the attention span of people. It is a lot easier to rope someone in with a 10 to 15-second video than it is to rope someone in with a 10 to 15-minute long video
video.
on like
Exactly.
YouTube or stuff like
Yeah,
this on Instagram. This is organic, right?
yeah.
You know, snippets of this are going to go on TikTok. That'll aid to that, you know, rapid growth, right? But you see something on TikTok, you're prone to watch it over and over again if it's good because it's what, 10 seconds. Your
Yeah.
attention span's not that long. Nobody's going to sit there watching 10 to 15-minute long videos over and over again because that would take hours. So that's
Speak
like
for
the main,
yourself, but
yeah,
I
that's
do.
like the main, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's like the main difference between like TikTok being just like this fast, like growth, I guess. Yeah,
It
different
is.
than like
Yeah.
YouTube and Instagram. So it's
It's
not
going up.
real and it's not like,
No.
it's not organic because it is just, it's so easy.
Yeah.
Anybody can make a funny video and just go up on
I
TikTok.
think
Now,
also
yeah,
TikTokers are acknowledging that too because you see so many of them diving into other industries.
yeah, 100%.
For some reason, music is a popular one. I don't know why. But they
Beats me
they
at this
make
point.
their fan base on TikTok and then they follow them to YouTube, Instagram, whatever else they want to do. They don't
Yeah,
all just stay on TikTok. Like I don't think.
yeah. And I mean, that's personally what I'm doing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm using TikTok as a way to funnel them towards my Instagram. And it has worked. It has
Yeah.
worked. I'm actually starting I'm out of a plateau on Instagram. I'm actually starting to grow up again, which is great. But it's also, you know, at the same time, not great because it's a wide variety of audience.
Hmm.
It's just like, you know, a video will hit the For You page. People with completely different interests all over the place will just follow you because they like that one video, right?
Yeah.
And then now when you try to divert them over towards like, hey, I'm a photographer or I'm a graphic designer or I'm a social media marketer, that kind of stuff, they'll be like, well, I'm not interested in that. I don't want to go do that. You could have 100,000 followers on TikTok. You could have 1 million, but you only gain like maybe like what, a couple hundred
Yeah.
on your other social media platforms because that amount of people on TikTok, you know, out of that big following are the only ones that are like, yeah, I like that. I'm
Yeah.
going to go check that out. The others
Exactly.
don't care.
Yeah.
You know, that's just like, it sucks. But you know what? I
Yeah.
mean, it's
For me,
yeah.
when I follow somebody from TikTok or from YouTube to Instagram, that is a commitment. I like that content enough to see it every day.
Yeah.
Because I will then, like, if I follow someone from TikTok to Instagram, I have stalked their TikTok enough that I ran out of their content and I want more. So I go to their Instagram, or if they have a YouTube, I go to their YouTube.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, I follow them. It's a commitment to some people because you like that content enough that you want more of that content daily, not just whenever you go on TikTok.
It's literally what my bio says on TikTok. I inspire you. I point a camera at cool things to inspire you. What daily? Yeah, multiple times per day. And,
daily.
Yeah, exactly. It's yeah. I mean, TikTok's great. It's a great thing. I mean, I do love it. And I know a lot of people love it and a lot of people hate it, but I think it is a great way to just like, quickly make something for 10 to 15 seconds and like, especially if you're good at just like, you definitely could, you're great at that. Like you had your Fit Check Babes one. That one was cool.
Still trying to do it.
Why have you stopped?
Discipline mostly.
There we go.
Discipline.
Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Hold on. Is it discipline or is it motivation?
Oh, it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
It's a little bit of both.
Expand.
Also, my excuse. My excuse is that I like clothing and music are my two ways I express myself through and through. They are my therapy. They are my will. They've always been around.
Yeah.
Like since 3rd grade, I've had the weirdest, craziest outfits, and I've always been into fashion. Like I would wear striped tights with black platform boots to my school every single day.
Okay.
With like a Paul Frank t-shirt. Like they had like no coordination, and obviously like things have elevated and like I've gotten more mature with my clothing, but it's been a form. So I don't want to just show every single day. Like I'm today extremely depressed and I'm wearing my sweatpants and stained t-shirt and I haven't showered in 6 days. Fit Check Babes.
I mean, that honestly is a mood. That is a mood.
It would be relatable, but it's not. That's like, honestly, every single fit I have every single day most of the time is me in my sweatpants and a baggy t-shirt doing my work with no makeup on. I do my fit checks when I have a fire fit. Like today, I would probably do a fit check today when I have the time, when I find like...
I mean, this is honestly not going to lie. Like if you had on like some really nice like shoes, had a cup of coffee or whatever in your hand.
I don't know where my shoes are downstairs, but I have Nike Air Forces with me.
That's about to say, if you had Air Forces on.
Good go-to for anybody.
You also had your classic little LA big black sunglasses on. Yeah, exactly. You had those.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's a fit, okay.
It's a fit.
This I can, as from a photographer's perspective, I agree with this. All right, and I would completely photograph this if we had the time.
I'm gonna send this to my mom to prove that a photographer has told me he likes his fit. My mom just told me that I look messy. So
well, you know what? It's whatever at this point.
Yeah.
Like
what I say is I have an LA style. Like nobody in the Bay Area I think ever dresses.
Yeah. See that that's
this kind of. Like
when you think of urban, you think of LA.
Yeah.
Like you think of that kind of hustle and bustle, Melrose Avenue, downtown LA, Hollywood, that type of you fit that Melrose look right now, or that kind of urban outfitters.
Yeah.
That urban outfitters look. Exactly. So that's what I like about this.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a mood. The shower in 6 days. I mean, I've been there before. To be honest with you, actually last week I went I think it was almost a full week.
Yeah.
Just because like I was sick. And tired, had no motivation. We've all been there, and
that was my week this week.
Yeah, I was also injured too, so I couldn't really move
anywhere,
like my neck or back or anything. Which I'm healed now. I can fully move everything. I feel tense up here though from the gym, but you know what?
Yeah.
It's just it is what it is. But like, hey, you get motivated, you get disciplined, and honestly, that's one thing that I've actually started. You're gonna hate this, actually. You know most about it, but where I've actually gone like off the grid from everybody in my life for about 3 to 6 months. I'm still posting and creating content, obviously, but as far as like socializing, Snapchat, reaching out to people, that's kind of no more for me because I just find it like to a point where it's actually hindering my capabilities and my like real motivation to really do much, because I'll find myself, comparing myself to others while at the same time putting myself in situations where I feel hurt because of that comparing and because of like that just social environment that just is toxic. So I just disappeared from like everybody and not really like responding, to, and hopefully nobody's going to take it like personal, but like that time to really just pull away from all of the distractions in your life can really aid to that discipline coming back in to help you get back on track so you can really achieve something greater and not keep procrastinating like me, sitting in my bed watching TikToks for 3 hours and then wasting all the time. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's why
Yeah.
I'm doing this, is to get back on track fully. So I mean, have you ever done anything like that?
I have not.
Why not? I mean, you seem like the person, like, when I first met you, you seem like you're like, like, hey, like, be gone from me. I don't want to talk
Oh,
to you.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
I'm that way. The
yeah.
whole like distance myself from people. I really don't fuck with people.
I mean, I don't fuck
I
with
don't.
people
I don't
either.
like
Like, I
people.
love people. I love like-minded people,
Yeah.
but like some ones that piss me off, like, oh no, it's over.
I don't know what it is about me, whether this is like something when I got into spirituality and I started meditating and I started getting into like what I feel like inside,
Yeah.
or if it's just my Virgo, because I've heard it's a Virgo thing. But
Hey, I'm Leo. I'll
yeah,
fight you.
Virgo, I know.
Throw elbows.
I know. I actually have some Leo on my chart, so I think maybe there's like something there, but I don't know. No, but what it is that I can't like see people's auras and like the energy around them, but I can kind of feel it. Like when we first met, I knew when you didn't fuck with this anymore, and when you were like, yeah, I'm going to take a step back, just by the energy of your text messages. Simply just how you talked to me over text, I knew something was up. I didn't know what it was. I had a feeling it was about like us, because I was like, he's not a person to just like dip for no reason. He's not like a
Yeah.
douche who
Yeah.
just like will ghost you out of nowhere, but like he's also not someone that wants to hurt you.
Yeah.
So
Because,
I kind of
like,
I have to ask if this is about me. I also don't like assuming. So like it could also be something completely different.
yeah.
But if it was a situation, I knew by your text messages. I only fuck with people that I like their vibe and I like their energy.
You can
Like,
just sense it
I
immediately.
can sense
like,
it. I can sense it. Like there are 4 people that I want to talk to on a consistent basis, and it's because I like their energy so much
Yeah.
that I just want to be around them all the time.
See, you and me are of the same. We're both very in tune,
Yeah.
intuitive, and we just are really like more or less more in tune with ourselves than others. We're working on ourselves, while also at the same time being in tune with ourselves allows us to actually understand a little bit more about others and just be able to like be like the calm in the storm, right?
Yeah.
You have all this chaos going around you, but at the same time you're still calm and collected and able to just, okay, this person's like this, all right, and based off their energy, which is the same way that I operate, able to tell like certain things about other people. So yeah, I remember that. I actually remember you telling me about that, about the text messages and everything, which was great because like it was another thing that really like kind of opened my eyes to you as a person. It's like, okay, this person, may we all come off certain ways or whatever. When you get to like actually down to the nitty gritty of like how someone works, then it's like, okay, wow, this person actually is very multidimensional, not just a facade. They've got multiple levels, and it's more interesting like that, right?
Yeah.
So that was that was cool.
Yeah, it was. I do that all the time. I can tell when things shift. I can tell specifically. I can tell instantaneously when energy shifts. I
Yeah,
never know
same.
the reason, but I know that energy is changed.
You would just walk into like a situation. You could even be with friends. I was actually, actually personally had that experience like the other night where you're just with some, maybe it could be strangers or just in an environment that you may not, originally fuck with at all, but you just know that just something's not right.
Yes.
You just know that just like you're just there. You're like, okay, well, I'm with someone that I know. I'm comfortable with that person, but I don't like this.
Yeah.
I want to go home.
Oh, I have those situations. I also know when like things are wrong.
Yeah.
I have that intuition. I think it just may end up
You just
been
know when
something.
something's up.
I know something's up.
Yeah.
Regardless, creepiest situation I was ever in.
Tell me. I'm intrigued.
Actually, I don't even know if my mom knows about this or my sisters know about this, but I had a dream when I was 7 years old about my stepdad accidentally falling off the Golden Gate Bridge. I woke up that next morning and he had passed away. And I had this inkling when I woke up. I'm like, that felt so real. Something isn't right. Like it didn't feel just like a nightmare. Because as a kid, when I was 7, I had nightmares all the time. I would wake up screaming. I was crying. I had a horrible nightmare where my mom wasn't my mom. Things like that. Like I was an anxious little kid.
You've had history.
I've had history, yeah. But there was a different feeling when I woke up that morning about this dream. I was like, this isn't right. This isn't just a nightmare. This isn't just something that I was like, that was weird. there's something wrong. And I go find my parents, and they're nowhere to be found. And my mom is downstairs with my stepdad, and he's what looks like asleep. And then hours later, I find out the news.
I'm so sorry.
It was 13 years ago. It changed me. Everything, all of my trauma that's happened in my life.
You were 7 when this happened.
Yeah.
You were a kid.
I was a
that's
kid.
just that's not light. That's
No,
not
it's
lightweight
not.
at all.
No, it's not. No, but it's also something that's made me realize why I don't fuck with people. Is because like I don't want to just tell every single person I meet personally about this news. I'm fine telling the internet because like I'm not going to meet like a quarter of the people that I interact with or see my content.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't mind putting all my life on the internet. I've talked about threesomes I've had on the internet. I've talked about completely different things that I wouldn't tell everybody that I meet. Because it's different when you connect with a person on that level.
Yeah, it literally is. There's a difference between, you know, sharing a story just to share a story and actually connecting with the person and sharing the emotions behind that story. There's like, that's just like, words are words, right? Hey, this happened to me. It was great. Next, right?
Yeah.
That's just sharing a thing. And, you know, most people are okay with that regardless of what it is. It could, you know, like about a threesome or something that could be uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
But sharing the actual emotions with somebody down to like the detail, where some things may have came from when you're growing up, you know, what may cause you to feel certain ways before and after, that's like the actual connection part that means the most, especially. And then that's where the, you know, your energy level, like you know about that, like your energy frequencies, like these, you know, study that a little bit, like the human body, I think, is operating on a 455 or 452 hertz, something like that. And basically when you know the energy level of a person is equal to the next, guess what? It's like they're literally like a match made in heaven with multiple different people. And, you know, studying, like, you know, just to not bore anybody with like sine waves or anything like that, but like, you know, studying electrical engineering a little bit before, you've known how sine waves can collide, you know, when they're different levels and different frequencies. They don't look pretty, they don't work at all. But like when you have it in unison together, like two of the same, it's just like, you know, they never miss. They never miss. And like, you know, there's a few people in my life that I've connected with that I can honestly say we're on the same frequency. You and me are definitely one of them. Even if we go months, years, which we've had
2.5 years
without talking, okay, and then reconnecting and feeling like it was yesterday. Like what? I don't even know how we reconnected, but again, that's
you texted me. I remember this. You texted me, and I was kind of confused because you didn't give me a last name, and honestly, I don't think I had your number saved at the time. I don't know.
Really?
But yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember. I just caught up with you.
And I was like, wait, I know a Brian. Is this the? I'm like, this cannot be the Brian that I'm thinking of. This can't be. No.
You're like, it's too good to be true, bro.
No, it was like also like I would never expected you. I gave up. Like I was like, I felt in the beginning after we stopped talking that we were gonna come back to each other, and I was like, we're gonna be friends again. Like we're too compatible to not be friends.
Yeah.
But then eventually, at time, I was like, maybe I won't hear from him. Maybe it's just not meant to be. Maybe we're not meant to be in each other's lives. And I started moving on, and I never expected to hear from you again. But then I was like, no, this can't be, because like he wouldn't have, like, why would he text me? So I asked. That's why I asked. I was like, is this who I think it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's reasons behind that.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna disclose most of them like in later times because I've like I can't wait. I can't wait. Oh my god, it's gonna be so great. But anyway, so I'll get to those details later. And you know, we'll have other stuff where, you know, like the history of you and me as far as like, you know, where we started, what happened, where we are now, where we're going, that kind of stuff. Because friendship is a great thing. You know, and there's a lot of discipline that has to happen in friendship to maintain that as well, that we've all failed on. All of us have failed at some sort as far as, you know, keeping a solid friendship going. But the fact that, you know, we've came back together, okay, as far as like, you know, back in each other's lives, we've caught up and everything like that, you know, that to me means a lot because like, you know, I do believe that you are one of the people that we are on that same frequency level. You know, there's a few other people, or a couple of others, honestly. I think it's my friend Caitlin's one of them. My friend Hannah's another one. And maybe that might be about it. Like, as far as like, you know, who I can really like just vibe with, no matter what the conversation is, no matter what happens, there'll always never be a dull moment. It'll always be just like, You know, we could be in the worst shape ever, and it'll still be,
Yeah.
wholesome.
Yeah.
And same thing here. Like we don't really care about, the small little petty stuff that others do.
No.
We just do us, and it's just straight up like,
Yeah. So I've always had that, going back to that whole point of how we started talking about this. I've always done that thing where I just don't fuck with people. I don't talk to a lot of people.
yeah,
Like, I make a joke constantly that I have no friends, because I have maybe 4 friends consistently on a consistent basis right
Same.
now.
Same.
I
5.
would, yeah, exactly. I
5.
have like a handful of friends, and like I'll meet and interact with other people and have
Yeah.
acquaintances, and I get drunk friends all the time when I go to parties. Like, I'll get their
You got
Snapchat.
a different category for each friend group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I get drunk friends. We follow each other on Instagram, and that's the extent of our friendship.
I
That's it.
mean, yeah, that
I get a follower. I get people to interact with my social media.
so funny. It's
That's
like,
it.
everybody thinks, you probably had this before where other people think they're your friend,
Yeah.
or other people think that you are their friend.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, my friend Brian or my friend Grace. And in reality, it's like, no,
Like, no.
we follow each other, and we like
That's it.
talked for 10
Yeah.
minutes. I'm not your
It's
friend.
specifically when they want to plug your name.
I've had so many people be like, oh, my friend Brian, he's like on Instagram, Blair is a
Yeah.
portrait photographer, so cool. And then they'll just tie my name to like, oh, I know this guy who's
Yeah.
done this. And I'm
Yeah.
like, how pathetic.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like, you're just gonna say, oh, you're associated with me. Like, that's like somebody who goes to like a G-Eazy concert, and they're like, dude, I'm friends with G-Eazy now. Like,
Yeah.
bro, you went to his concert. Calm down.
No.
Like,
Like, that's my
you
sister
freaking
and
fairy,
her
like, what the hell?
ex-boyfriend had a short conversation with him in the VIP room at like Outside Lands, I think, like when she was in high school.
Yeah.
And like, that would be that type of person. Be like, oh, my friend G-Eazy, I had like a short conversation with him.
Yeah.
Like, that would be that kind of person.
I've met the dude. I've had a conversation with him. Cool guy. Not my vibe.
No.
Not my style. I love his
Definitely.
music, but just not personality wise, based off that, because I can really just tell people's energy.
Yeah.
Not someone I would want to say even my friend.
No.
Like, I would just say like, hey, this great artist G-Eazy, I've worked with him before. That's
really
it.
cool.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say like,
He's a
my
cool
friend
person.
G-Eazy, dude.
No.
Yeah, we've shot
Yeah.
music videos and shit. No, what the hell? Like 1942, I was on that production. That was
Yeah.
it. Like, and then I went to the after party, had a quick convo. Hey G, how's it going, man? Oh man, that's awesome. Glad to see you here, bro. Here, have a drink. And he's just straight up started talking about himself.
Yeah.
And like how he's the greatest thing ever. And I was like, hey, awesome, dude. I gotta
Go.
piss. I'll be right back. And
Yeah.
I was
go
like,
back.
hey, Jose, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like, I do not fuck with this. People are doing lines. It was just literally, I'm not kidding. It's like literally looks like his music videos, but in real life.
Yeah.
Strippers, lines, drugs, coke, alcohol. It's just, I couldn't. I was like,
Yeah,
I gotta
no.
go. It's just not my vibe.
Not your
like,
vibe. Yeah.
There's something about class, and I get it. A lot of people like,
They do it because they can.
They do it because they want to fit in. They want to feel cool. They want to just, they got nothing to satisfy themselves with. They just be like, oh, dude, I'm going to do this line of coke. It's going to be dope. I'm going to drink until I get plastered. It's going to be cool. Hey, dude, strippers, come here. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
They do it because they just want to feel satisfied, which is, kind of sad, to be honest with you.
Very sad.
And it's like, you got to have something more fulfilling in your life than just like getting plastered on the weekend, doing lines every single day, and saying that you're friends with someone when you're not. Like, that's just kind of pathetic at that point. You're just a room of acquaintances. Literally. Like, what? Because you want to look cool? Like, oh, I know this person? Get the hell out of here. Leave fucking ferret.
The one person that I would probably do, like, I'm friends with if I ever interacted with him for a second, rest in peace, Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD. I would say if I met him at an after party and like had a quick convo with him, I would say he was my friend, because he seems like the dopest person in the world. I watched an interview with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And basically like what they did, like what their life was. And she was like, if we weren't on tour, we were at home playing Nintendo Switch, hanging out with the dogs, smoking, hanging out with friends. That was it. That's all we were doing. He was either in the studio at home, on tour, or in the house playing Nintendo Switch. I'm like, that's my fucking vibe. That's my whole thing. I don't play Nintendo Switch, but I'd be happy to smoke with you and just chill out with you guys.
Yeah.
So like that would be the one person that I would like name plug and be like, yeah, my friend, even though we're not friends.
Yeah.
That'd be the one person.
I like the evolution of friend groups when it goes from like in high school, you're at like these really big, massive groups of friends, and then now as you get older, that group goes down a lot more, and then you finally get to a point where actually you're with yourself only. Like you go from big guys to like small to like 2 or 3 friends, then you're like, if you go through something rough, you're by yourself, right? You go through the hardships and then you push through it, and then you can open back up to like 2 or 3 people or more, depending on like, what you've gone through or how many people you want to have in your life, your close immediate friends, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah. So I mean, that's some of the things that like I've gone through, is having that, that closer circle, people that are my immediate friends that I can trust, vibe with, that same frequency, that same energy level type of thing.
Hmm.
And then just your acquaintances. You may know a
Yeah.
lot of people, you know a lot of names out there, they know you, but you're not really like, hey, let's talk, let's hang out, let's go
Yeah.
smoke a joint in the
Yeah.
basement or some
Let's
shit
do
like
like,
that.
let's have like a heart to heart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, and in a sense, like that does take a lot of discipline with, keeping yourself in check and not letting yourself get flooded down the wrong path. Because like
Exactly.
you hang around with some of the wrong people, you're gonna become like those people.
Hmm.
So discipline in business, can translate a little bit differently with, discipline in friendships. But honestly, like that's one thing I've actually been told growing up is you are who you hang around with. You hang
You are the
around.
5 people that you associate yourself with. Yes.
Exactly. You hang around with 5 losers, you're going to be the sixth. You hang around with 5 successful people, you
You're
will
gonna be
be
the
the
sixth.
sixth.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Exactly.
that's sound right there. So,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Exactly. I also think that there is like with business and with just your personal life in general, there is a breaking point.
Yeah.
There's a rock bottom with everything. It's not just with addiction. You don't hit rock bottom when when you have a drinking problem, and like that's it. That's the only rock bottom. No, you have a rock bottom, and that part, then you will go back up. And I think that's when you like find yourself completely isolated
Hmm.
with nobody, no passion, no dream. I had that. I was experiencing that. And then you actually helped me turn that around. Like you were one of the first people I was like, "All right, I can make friends again. I can know that there are people there that I fuck with heart to heart forever, same frequency and everything."
Yeah.
And then like because up until that point, my life was slowly on a decline where I was with some really shitty people. Some really shitty people. Like the worst of the worst, quite literally. And so,
Yeah.
and then once that ended, I hit my rock bottom and I came back up. I met some people that didn't work out and I've lost some friends, but then, I kept the people that were really, really close to me who I just really fuck with. And I met some new people that I really fuck with.
Yeah. Honestly.
Like you hit that rock bottom. You hit that rock bottom in work too. I think I have. Yeah, I have.
I mean, I have.
Yeah.
I've burnt out myself so many times working in the company that I'm in now and the company that I was in before, like
Yeah.
just around the clock.
I know
This.
that, but that's not no, but like a rock bottom where you just have nowhere to go. You have nowhere to go, but you have to go back up.
I mean, yeah, you have no other choice but to go up.
Yeah.
Anything you do at that point, like,
Like
it's
there's no way that you can run yourself more into the ground. Like I
I've been there so many
did
times.
that.
So many times.
Did that. And then I came back up and now I'm doing what I love every single day.
There you go.
Yeah.
There
And
you
that
go.
I think is also your motivation because your why picks you back up. Your motivation is your why, your discipline is your routine, your set of rules, your boundaries in which you won't cross.
Yeah.
There are boundaries I won't cross in dating. There are boundaries I won't cross in friends and in work and quite literally everything. You have to have a line that you just won't pass. And if you pass that line, then you're gonna go back down to bottom.
Yeah. That's where
Period.
that's where that discipline really
Yeah.
takes over. So
Like you have to set your it takes years.
a lot.
A lot of years.
Training. Honestly, it's like, it's like you have to be hard on yourself, but not too hard.
Yeah.
You gotta, know the boundaries of when is too much.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta have the motivation to really push yourself to the limit, to
Mhm.
know your limit,
Mhm.
and to see past all the hardships and see the end result. Because like, if you see like, okay, this is who I'm gonna become
Mhm.
later, right? You gotta have that motivation to push through. It's gonna get hard. It's gonna get
Exactly.
harder and harder and harder. It's gonna break me to my core.
Yeah.
But this is where it's going to get me.
Yeah.
And the discipline is going to keep me in line, and the motivation is going to keep me going.
Exactly.
Those two is like pair match made in heaven
Mhm.
together in really anything: business, fitness, personal goals, training goals, anything.
Yeah.
You just put your mind to it. If you have the discipline to stay within the lines for that course to get you there, and the motivation as the driving force to keep pushing you forward, you're going to do just fine.
Yeah.
And I agree that that's honestly one thing a lot of people should keep in mind is like have that First of all, have a goal, have an end
Mhm.
set. All right, know where you want to be,
Yeah.
whether it's with friends or whatever.
A physical goal.
A physical goal, and actually, someone told me this a while ago. Um, they said it's one thing to have a goal, but it's another thing to have a goal with a deadline. You
Mhm.
can say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this. This is my goal," right?
Mhm.
When
Exactly.
it could be next month, it could be 10 years from now, 50 years from now. If you don't set when, the goal means nothing because
Exactly.
you don't know when it's going to happen, and then you're going to fall out of line. It's going to be a lot harder for you to maintain that discipline to keep within the lines to get that goal done,
Yeah.
right? So that you got to have a goal, you got to have a timeline, all right, and take it in baby steps, but you got to have those things key and keep your eyes on them at all times
Yeah.
because that's what's going to keep, it's like, when you're driving a car, you're not looking behind, you're not looking all around, you'll
You're looking
crash,
forward.
right? You got
Yeah.
to look where you're going,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So, you
Yeah.
know,
I think you have a large end goal, your accomplishment, your life work. Like mine is my future life, my ideal life that I want right now. And it will evolve and it will change. You know,
yeah.
maybe when I get closer to that goal, I'm not going to want a G Wagon, which I do right now. I want a G Wagon so badly, even though I don't have my
I see
license
you in a
yet.
Range Rover.
I want a Range Rover too. I also
Okay,
want a
well, get them
Lamborghini.
both.
I want 8 cars.
Get a Lamborghini Urus.
I want so many cars.
Audi R8, top of the line.
I want that too. I want that. I want
We'll have a garage full of cars, I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, I will.
Yeah,
I
I'll
will
race
build
you.
my dream house, everything like that. I have this big end goal that has no deadline.
I'll come live in the backyard.
Let's do it. We'll be roommates. Let's do it.
I'm down.
I have this big end goal that has no deadline because it's just my end of my life kind of. It's like
Yeah.
the end of my chapter.
It's like your end all be all.
Yeah, end all be all. This is like where materialistically I will be happy. And then I have those small goals that lead up to that that if in the foreseeable future it seems possible, I'll give them a deadline.
Yeah.
Like obviously I don't think realistically for me in the next 2 years I'll be able to afford my Lamborghini, but you know what? That's going to be a further down materialistic line that when I get there, I will put a deadline. I'm like, this is when I'm going to be able to afford that Lamborghini, and I'm going to put that in my driveway.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Right now, my deadline is my MacBook laptop, my desktop. That's my
the iMac.
The iMac. I need that. I need that.
Honestly,
I need that. I have a small little MacBook computer, and it cannot hold my programs.
I'm telling you,
it's
changes
running.
the game.
I feel like it's running on. I feel like it's about to crash, and I'm just like holding on because I have such cute stickers. I just like it's my happy place. I love it, but yeah, it's running on thin ice. I feel like.
Yeah. No, you'll be good.
Yeah.
Point is, keep the goals, keep the timeline, have the discipline to keep you in the lines, and have the motivation to keep you going.
One last thing, each goal should also work on your why. Your why is not your goal. I need to emphasize that for anybody that because I feel like a lot of people that I tell them you need a why to start anything. People think it's like, oh, it's a goal. Like, oh, I want my big dream house. No, that's not your why. Your why is something that you accomplish every single day.
Your why aids your goal.
Exactly.
Your why should be your driving force. Your why should be part of the things behind
bigger than you and bigger than materials. Yeah. My why is to make people feel confident and happy.
My why is to pull their potential out.
Exactly.
And we have that's the other thing I noticed about us is we have very similar and very parallel whys.
Yes.
They almost go hand in hand together because
that's why I believe we could go in business together.
I mean, we basically are at this point. We
are.
We're about to.
Yeah, we have always, for years, for any time, when we first started talking, I tried to get you into that. Monet. I tried to get you in Monet because I felt like you could rock it. Even though it was skincare and hair care, I think you could have rocked it. But now that I've quit that too, that's fine. But now you're doing one too. So, you're doing Amway.
And it's taken off.
Yeah, it's taken off. Exactly. So I know we could rock business together.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because we're both very outgoing and just we can get it done as far as managing an organization.
Yeah. And when you pull someone's potential out, you're bringing out their happiness.
Yeah, right. And so many people. I mean, I'm gonna touch on that whole thing in a different one too. But so many people have the different and twisted perspective on almost everything. And perspective is actually going to be a major part of these episodes. Is because perspective is all opinion based, really.
Yeah.
All right. But there's really when you know the truth of it, perspective just kind of goes away, and it's kind of just you and the truth, and you can't really unsee the truth of it.
Yep.
You know,
No,
and
the truth will always find you.
100% it will.
100%.
And some people may be like, arrogant to some things. There's so many friendships I've noticed have been, lost because they let their opinions get in the way
Yeah.
of. That's the other thing. You and me we're polar opposite everything.
Polar opposite
Polar
everything.
opposite political, polar opposite
Oh
God,
yeah.
right? But we're mature enough to the point like we don't let
That
that
doesn't
get in
affect
the
our
way
friendship.
because
Yeah,
it
no.
doesn't matter. It's an opinion of something.
Yeah.
Like if you tell me like, oh, I hate photography, or I hate this. I don't like it because people that do photography
Yeah,
are like
you don't
this.
smoke. I
Yeah.
smoke.
Yeah.
I'm like
You know,
certified stoner.
It still wouldn't be like, okay, great.
Yeah.
That's just your interest,
Yeah.
like, I like
Exactly.
things that you don't like and you like things that I don't like. It's just like,
It's not
it
fact.
doesn't, that's what keeps a fucking friendship going. It's
Exactly.
anything. That makes it more interesting. You're
Mhm.
not the same. You're just like, I feel like I'm being friends with myself
Yeah.
if everything was the same. Like, so annoying.
That's also kind of boring.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
it'll be all good. So, yeah, I think we hit the point with discipline and
Yeah.
motivation.
And a couple other things.
A couple of other things too, but hey, we
This
got
is
we got
quite
time to extrapolate
literally
on it.
just our conversations.
Yeah, literally.
When we're driving, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of fun now to actually be recording them and then be watching them back later.
People are going to be able to see just like an insight into our friendship.
Oh yeah, I know, and they're gonna see like the very deep parts of it too.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be awesome. Alrighty,
That was
so
cool.
I will wrap this up. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Remember, I have episodes releasing every Friday morning and possibly every Tuesday morning. So I'm going to aim to do 2 a week. Once again, my name is Brian. This is Grace. I will catch you guys on the next episode. You want to go get Bubba?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Let's go.